Hi. And that's it. Okay, so that was an example of self-introduction for me. Well, what do you get from that introduction that I've gave? You get like, oh, I'm like really scaredy person, or like really anxious and stuff. Well, yeah, so like that's why we're here to like learn about self-introduction, because self-introduction is like a really important thing to like give an impression to someone, because that impression like really affects their perspective of you. Well, let me introduce myself again, because that was not a very good introduction. Well, my name is Najla Tsabitah, and I'm from electrical engineering. I will be here today as a speaker for our first ever English class, that is self-introduction and daily conversation. You can go next. The class will be divided into 6 parts. Part 1, self-introduction, and then part 2, daily conversation, part 3, tips, and for the 4 is conclusion, and then the 5 is dot dot dot. I purposely do not give you anything about it, but you'll just see until the end. Next. Okay, so part 1, self-introduction. Next. Before like we dive into like like how do we give a proper introduction, we must know like what is an introduction first. In general, introduction means like an occasion when something put into use or brought into a place for the first time. So, for example, you like made a project for like your assignment or something, and the project hasn't been made like anywhere. So you're the like first person to make it. So when you like present it to your professor or like your friends, you have to introduce it first, right? Well, so yeah, that's the gist of the introduction. But what about self-introduction? Well, it's no different than the general introduction itself. Self-introduction means the act of telling someone your name or even something about yourself to the like person or people that you've never met before. Next. So now that we like know the meaning of introduction, why do we need to learn about self-introduction? Well, first of all, it reduces awkwardness. Imagine if you're like stuck in a room with one other person, and like you don't know about this person at all. So if you like introduce each other, you'll become less awkward with that. Like, and then the next part is press escape. Oh no. Oh, well, the second is it's their first impression of us. As I mentioned before, introduction really impacts someone's perspective of you. If you like, for example, like you fell down the stairs, like, oh, the stranger that sees you thinks that, oh, that person like fell down the stair, really embarrassing. Well, yeah, that is a first impression. But the moment you like introduce yourself to them, and then like you emit like a really confident energy, that person that person immediately thinks that, oh, even though like he fell down the stairs, he really is confident and all. Like, I mean, that doesn't count as a first impression, but like it's still the same. And then the third one, it establishes connection and trust. Well, when you like introduce yourself to someone, you like slowly becoming trustful of them. And then the fourth one is facilitates networking. This is, I mean, really important for us college students who are looking to like having a practic work. So by facilitating network, you can get a lot of connections that where like they have workplaces that you can go to. And then lastly, it signals respect. Well, in every culture, we will always have to introduce yourself. Even like in the family gathering events, like in religious events and stuff, you meet like your other branches of family. You always have to like introduce yourself if they forget about you, right? So that signals respect. On to the next one. Now that we know the what and the why, how do we give an introduction? Well, there's just like three parts of this, and the first one starts with a greeting. Whenever you meet someone, you always greet them first, right? And there's like two types of like settings. The first one being like in a formal setting, you can start with good morning, afternoon, or evening. And then in an informal setting, you can just say hello, hi, what's up, or hey. And then on the second part, you follow up with an opening introduction. In the formal setting, you always have to say like, let me introduce myself, allow me to introduce myself. In the bracket, there's like can also be used in an informal setting if you like. I will explain that in the last part. But continuing on, after that you say your name. You can like say your full name. Well, usually in a formal setting, you always have to say your full name first. Like my name is Najla Tsabitah, and blah, blah, and like, or I am Najla Tsabitah, or like my full name is Najla Tsabitah. And after that, you can also bring up your nickname. Like my nickname is Najla, or you can also call me Sabi for better pronunciation. Well, now that we've reached like the end of this part, the reason why in the brackets there's like can also be used in an informal setting if you like. It means like I mean usually like in an informal setting you can just instantly say like hi, my name is Sabita. So the second part can be skipped, but you can also like still use that in an informal setting. On to the next one. And that's about it. No, no, it still hasn't finished. The class hasn't finished yet. Don't clap. Well, yes, that is it. That is like the main gist of how you give an introduction. Well, maybe some of you thinks that, oh, that's quite boring. Like just like say those three parts. Well, you can also add another elements. On to the next one. There's like a lot of things that you can add into your introduction that can make it more interesting. And see here, in the first part, you can like say your profession as of now. Since we're college students, we can say that what year we are in currently. For example, I'm in my second year of electrical engineering. Or if we're not college student, we can also like say like where we study in, like in the elementary, middle school or high school. And then if you're already working, you can say, oh, I work at like something workplace, or I work at Bank Indonesia, or I work in the work that you do. For example, like I do in marketing, so I work in the marketing section. And then the second part is where you're from or where do you live, where it gives like this part. I mean, you can just not bring it up, but it like connects you with other people who may come from the same place as you that you haven't known yet. So like I'm from Indonesia, I'm from South Jakarta, specifically in Kebayoran Baru, or maybe I was born in Palembang, but I moved to Indramayu when I was little and then moved to Cirebon until now. I wonder who that is. Well, next part. And then on the third part, you can tell your hobbies or interests. Well, this also helps you connect with other people who may have the same hobbies or interests with you. For example, I've been interested in photography as of late. I'm working on a robotics project at the moment. I love reading books of all, and I love playing games and Nintendo games and etc. And then And then lastly, there's like many more that you can add. I'm not going to like put them all in. I'm just going to put the main parts that like really appears in everyday self-introduction. Well, just note that it's advised to not make your self-introduction very long. Just keep it short and simple because like people easily remember that more than like a really long sentences. Just like how you don't read and like memorize like one page of a book. You just capture the main point of it. And the next one, you can, and don't forget to give an ending. After like you give an ending, you can just say, "Oh, nice to meet you," or "It's a pleasure to meet you." It just depends on like which setting you are in, be it like informal or informal. I have given an example here. And the next part, here in an example introduction. Hello, my name is Cheese. I'm 9 months old and I like eating, playing. Nice to meet you. Well, that's a very good self-introduction in my book. And then the next one. Now it's your turn. I'm going to pick one of you to come into the front of the class and give your own self-introduction. Starting with you. You can come up. Yeah. I chose you because. Well, how's your morning?
Good.
Oh. Well, anyway, let me just start that. How's your morning?
My morning. Good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm not very familiar with your face, so I'd like you to introduce yourself to us because most of us here is like EEC staff. So yeah, you go ahead.
Before this, maybe I'm not I'm not fluently in English, but
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I can my best.
Yeah.
Excuse me, my name is Fitrian Salim Purnomo. You can call me Salim. In here, my major is civil engineering in Jenderal Sudirman University. My hobby is archery and bicycle, and I hope after join easy class in here, I hope I got some positive benefit. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's a very good explanation. Give applause. You said that you aren't very fluent, but you have confidence that you can make a very good impression and introduction to all of them. So you've done a really good job. Thank you for coming after here. You can just sit.
Thank you. Next to
Well, that was a very good example of introduction. Now on to the next part.
Oh ya Allah ya Allah.
Now, what is next? You've already learned how to give a very good introduction. Now, what next is daily conversation. So after like you've like known each other, like their name, their hobbies and stuff, the next part is like having a conversation. Next part. Now, just like before, we also need to know what is conversation means. Conversation means a talk between two or more people in which thoughts, feelings, and ideas are expressed to each other. Or like questions are asked and answered and stuff like that. Next. So why do we need to do daily conversation? First of all, we are social creatures. You've already been like told this from like elementary school, middle school, and high school. We are like humans, we are social creatures. Like we need each other in order to like complement each other. And the second one is it builds and maintains relationship. Well, after like you know each other, if you don't hold a conversation with each other, you just slowly lose connection with them. So Having a conversation with them builds and maintains that connection. The third one, it expands knowledge. In every conversation that you make, you get like new knowledge that you've never known before. Like maybe, oh, hey, did you know like one of our girls is dating some boy from another major? Wow, that's a new knowledge that you gain. And then the fourth one is you can get benefits in networking and opportunities. As I said, it's the same in the self-introduction where it facilitates networking. The conversation lets you letting known people that, oh, you really excel in this part of like engineering material and stuff, that person that knows that from the conversation that you made will like keep in mind that if there's a contest or competition that relates to the very subject that you are good at, they can invite you. And then lastly, it helps you keep sane. If we don't have conversation every day, we slowly lose sanity. So just like you can just like talk with someone or like some stranger online. It helps you keep sane. On the next one. So what are the basic daily conversation? Well, there's like how are you, what do you do, what time is it, and etc. But we are not focused on that. Next. Since we are engineering students here, so we have to like know what other like type of conversation that we can use in our everyday life. So in like talking with a classmate setting, we can say like, do you know what this part means? In Indonesia it means like, kamu tahu nggak apa ini maksudnya apa? So it's used in like when you're like studying in a class or in a group project or a study group, and you don't know like what this material means, you ask your friend about it. And the second one is like, do you not remember what the last class was about? It means, apa kamu nggak tahu? Apa kamu nggak ingat apa kelas kemarin ngapain? It usually used for like when your friend skips class or like doze off during class, something like that. And the third one, wait, there was an assignment used for like, it means, emang ada PR atau tugas? So it's used when like the lecturer gives you an assignment in the last class, and then it has to be submitted in the next class. And then lastly, Mr. Reta wants to go in front and present her solvings. You know how like lecturers give you a question that you need to solve? Oh yeah, by the way, that means like, Pak, ini Reta mau maju ke depan, mau terus presentasiin jawabannya. Basically, it means like whenever like a lecturer gives you a question for the class, and then one of the students have to come in, you like to like say your friend has their own solvings. So you just say like their name for them to come up to the front. And then what about in the talking with a lecturer or professor? Well, there's like a lot of this, but we'll just go through the example of number one. Miss, can I borrow your time? I'd like to consult about this material. So this means in Indonesia like, Bu, apakah saya boleh meminjam waktunya? Saya ingin konsultasi tentang subjek ini. It means like when perhaps you don't understand like a certain part during the lectures, you can like ask the lecturer after their class. So you ask this, and then the next example will be, excuse me, mister, are you interested in being a supervisor for a project? So it means like, permisi Pak, apakah Bapak tertarik menjadi dosen pembimbing dalam proyek kami? So usually in like competitions or contests, you would need a supervisor or dosen pembimbing So you have to ask this. You have to ask for their like interest and permission first in order to become your supervisor or docent bimbing. Now I want to like point you out that there is a clear difference between the first setting and the second setting. In the second setting, you see that more formal, for more like formality uh, and like yeah, formality. Well, like more formality is used than in the first setting, which is like more informal. It's because like you're talking with someone that is like more in charge. No, that isn't like that's not fit. Well, it's just like lecturer and lecturers need more respect, so you have to use more formal language. Unlike like your friends who you can just say in like informal setting, informal language. I mean. On to the next one. Now in the third part, regarding assignments and projects. Okay, it's going to be a handful to like explain one of them, but I can give you an example. Like, have you done the subject assignment? And do you understand the assignment? Like, can I ask you a question about related to our project? And how's the progress on your part? And etc. Next one. And then the fourth one. Since we are engineering students, we always have a practicum that we have to do in like every week. So some examples here are: do you understand what we are tasked to do? So maybe like after you read the module of the practicum and you still like don't understand, you ask your group mates about it, like, do you understand what we are tasked to do? And then the second one, like, have you obtained the data for this table? Well, and third one, and have we done this step correctly? Can I ask what to do about this? And then, yeah, that's about it. And then this final setting is, okay, I didn't realize that I kind of duplicated this. So ignore that. On to the next one. Now we've reached to the last part, third part, the tips. Now, like after you've learned like how to give an introduction and what daily conversation that you can use in everyday life, what are the like general tips that you can use in order to like maybe improve your speaking and other stuff? Next. Okay, so on to the general tips. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. I'm speaking this in like when speaking English. I mean, you know that in Black Americans, they don't follow the general grammar. Like they just talk whatever they like, and it's like the message still gets through. So basically, just don't be afraid to make any mistakes within your grammar. The important stuff is basically getting your main part of the message through to the other person. And like other natives English speaker wouldn't mind if you like mess up with your grammar, because like your main point of what you're speaking still gets through them. And then use simple sentences. If you can't use like complicated sentences, just use simple sentences. Don't be afraid to do that. And the third one, speak slowly and more clearly. Okay, I just realized that sometimes in this class I may have spoken like really fast. I'm sorry about that. I'm kind of like my adrenaline gets really up, so I like to speak really fast. And then lastly, practice talking to yourself or with a friend. Just don't be afraid about that. The point is. And then more specific tips. Know your opponent. When like introducing yourself or having a conversation, you have to know your opponent first. It relates to a bit of psychology, but yeah, we are like humans, so that is all related. So, like knowing your opponent gives you more like advantages on what topics that may interest them. The second one is be present. Have your attention fully on them. This is more towards like daily conversation, and like in this era of like where technology really affects everyone. Like we are always on our phone, be it on class or like when we are on bed, when we are on our bed, we always like have our eyes stick to our phone. So when having a daily conversation, it's best if you put it away and listen to them, like listen what they're talking and just be present. And also that also relates to this third part, so I'm going to skip that. And the fourth one is use open-ended question. 5W plus 1H. What, why, when, where, and then what else? And how. It's like prolongs the conversation and like gives you more knowledge on the topic. And lastly, just be honest. We, as a human, we have to have honest, like relationship and like just average conversation. Really, we like. It's not good to lie everything about yourself, right? Or maybe like something. Like now, just like before, I'm going to pick two of you now to go to the front and have a daily conversation. So I'd like you, yeah, and then you, please. No, you have to go to the front. Okay, before like we have like a direct application of how to have a daily conversation, I'd like both of you to introduce yourself first. Introduce. Introduce yourself first.
Hello, my name is Abdul Rashid Anwar Anafian. You can call me Anwar. I'm from Civil Engineering 25.
Okay. How about you?
Hello everyone, my name is Aisha Novagiri. You can call me Aisha.
Is there like more info that you can give up? Like maybe your major or like your hobbies?
I'm from Civil Engineering 24.
Okay. So you're both from the same major but different year.
Yes.
Okay. Now I'd like both of you to enact a daily conversation in which you pretends to be, or maybe are you an assistant in laboratory? Are you an assistant?
Yeah, no.
Okay, no. So, well, you pretend to be an assistant in laboratory, and you as the what's it called? The student. So,
The student.
please start. You can just say anything. Yeah. Oh, don't be shy. Don't be shy.
Hello, Mbak Ais. Can I ask about this question?
Don't be shy. You just pretend like what practicum that you're doing right now?
I'm do practicum like pemataan.
Okay, you've done that. You've done that practicum before, right? You've done that practicum before, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just ask anything that related to that practicum to Bud.
How PSIG practicum tuh? I don't know what to say.
Oh,
I'm not good in English.
no, it's okay. Okay. Maybe try asking like, what's it called? Like how was like the practice? Wait, no, that's not too complicated.
Who are you?
Okay, you should be. maybe we shouldn't have done. Maybe we should have done the basic ones. Okay, you can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are you?
I'm fine.
I'm fine too, but how's your day?
Good. Try texting. Ya makan belum?
Yeah.
Aku lagi nanya.
Yeah.
Where do you live?
I live in Panorama Kos. Jalan Kendil Road number 47.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
You can all go sit. You can all go sit on your respective.
Yeah. Thank you.
Well, that's a bit awkward, to be honest. Well, I mean, we still have a lot of time, so I'd like to bring two more people into the front. Who else? Okay, you, Nurul, come here. No, Nurul. No. No. I'm picking you. I'm picking you. I'm picking you. And I'd like the other person to be the one that is wearing cream hijab. I invite you to come to the front now. You may not refuse. You may not refuse. Come to the front. Come. You will be speaking with your. No. No. I want it. Okay. Ella, come on. Come on. It's okay. We'll take it slow. We'll take it slow. Please. Okay. Okay.
Lah dia yang bisa. Aku diem aja loh.
Okay. First of all,
Kenapa sih dari tadi HR?
I mean, you're human resources. You interact with a lot of humans, so you have to know like how to bring a daily conversation with them.
Yeah.
Oh well, before like we enact how to have a daily conversation, I'd like both of you to introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, hi, my name is Nurul. I'm from computer engineering. Nice to meet you.
Hi, my name is Dinda Pratiatmaja.
Why are you looking at her? You can just say your
I'm
major and like
Dari
your position.
jurusan Teknik Industri.
Yeah. Now, I want you to have a daily conversation, maybe regarding like your a division in HR. Like it's up to you guys what you want to like start it out with.
Okay. Okay, hi Dinda. How's your feeling today? Jangan rete.
Yeah, I'm good.
Just good. Okay. Yesterday I heard you have a problem with someone in AEC. HR kan HR.
A little discussion is on hold.
My problem is finish.
Betulnya gini-gini mic-nya di sini ya.
Okay, is that it?
That's all.
Okay, thank you for coming up to the front. Oh, the next one. Now, the conclusions. Next. So, what have you gained from this very class? First of all, introducing yourself is very easy. You can add as many elements as you want to make it interesting, but do keep in mind to make it short and simple. I mean, you can just make it a bit longer, but like still just keep it like simple and all. And the second one is formal and informal setting can really impact a daily conversation or an introduction. And then lastly, please just be more confident about yourself. It's not a conclusion, but like when speaking in English, you have to be like you have to step out your comfort zone. It's you won't like progress that much if you don't step out your comfort zone and like just like not care about how like you making a mistake in your grammar or like pronunciation. You'll slowly get there and someday. So just be more confident first and you'll slowly improve from time to time. And lastly, yeah, ending, well, that's about it. That's the material that I can give you and teach you. Well, is there any question that any of you might want to ask? It can be about like topics outside of daily conversation or self-introduction if you want. As long as I'm able to answer it, of course. Oh yeah, by the way, I hope all of you pay attention to what I have like taught you because at the very next section there will be a game section where if you get to first place, you can get a really good door prize from the staffs. So yeah. Well, before we get to the second, okay, what do you?
Okay. Hello, my name is Najla. I'm from Engineering. I want to ask you about what we should do to bring English conversation to friends, to people, like a common conversation. Because sometimes it's getting awkward, you know. Like the previous conversation, you know, it's like a problem we face about.
Alright, so is this like every day with like Indonesian speakers,
Yeah.
like where you want to integrate
How
more?
we start, like, we start,
How we start?
we start. Conversation that,
Oh, with English. I mean, you can usually, honestly, like a lot of like Indonesian people would like to keep talking in their native language, but you can like always ask them if perhaps they're interested in having an English conversation with you first. Usually there are people like that, as you may not know it, but like they want to like improve their English speaking as well because it's very useful and like and later on. So you can try asking your friend if whether they're interested in speaking in English, or maybe you can just like integrate yourself, like speaking English a little. You know how like people in South Jakarta like to use some English words in their like speaking. So you can try like adding that to your speech as well. Just like, hey, yesterday kamu udah ngerjain this assignment belum? I mean, slowly, like people understand what you're saying, and then maybe they also like it affects them as well. Like, oh, they slowly speak English as well because you know how like trending words get integrated to yourself. Like, you know the trend of kicamania. Like a lot of people keep saying kicamania in everyday conversation later on. So just that for me. Or is there like anything you don't understand? Or okay, yeah. Is there anyone who would like to ask? Okay.
I have a question. How do we break an awkward moment like Ice and Anwar? How to break awkward moment to keep our conversation continue gitu.
Honestly, in my opinion, like one of the other parties have to be like have to like exert more energy to the conversation. Like, if I'm being honest, both of the Anwar and Aisha was not very willing to do a conversation in the first place. I can tell because they're like scared and all. So one of the other parties, in my opinion, and this is in my opinion, okay, have to like bring up more energy that they're willing to keep up the conversation. Like, uh, like one of them can ask like more about what the topic that may interest the other person. For example, like, what do you like? What have you been like doing as of now? Maybe, and if like the topic, the things that they bring up have like relations to yourself, you can keep the conversation going from that. And other than that, like how to break awkward, it's honestly really hard because it's really subjective to like each and the respective person and like making a conversation alive. You can also like bring another person to the convo that can keep the convo alive, but sometimes that can also result into a more awkward situation. So like, yeah, personally, I think it's like better if one of you have to be more upbringing in the conversation. Is there like anything that you don't understand, or maybe like you like to object to my answer? No. Okay. Yeah. Oh, sure.
For this, can I can I ask you out of topic in this
What?
day? Can I can I ask you for can I ask you out of topic in this day?
Oh, sure.
Where you learn English for beginner? I mean, you have channel YouTube for beginner like me.
Oh, so like a tips for like a beginner on how to speak more fluently.
That's it. That's
Oh
it.
yeah. I mean, personally, like learning everyday pronunciation from native English native speakers really helps you a lot. For example, how I became like fluent in speaking was because like when I was a child, I like to watch YouTube videos about like overseas YouTubers playing a game and stuff, and I get really excited, just like the next person on watching people on like watching a YouTuber or like a streamer speaking. So it like kind of affects me and make me like start pretending that I'm one of those streamers. So whenever I like watch a video, I like to like turn my gadget off and then speak to myself, thinking I'm like one of the YouTubers. So, good morning, everyone. I'm Najla Tsabitah, and I will be playing this game. We've made progress on the last part, and etc. So, you can, as a beginner, I think you can start like having conversation with yourself if you're, especially like, you're afraid of having a conversation with somebody else because you are embarrassed, and then like the other person may not like want to have a conversation with you. And so the first step for me is like try speaking to yourself and just pretend like you're some high celebrity or content creator. And also, another tip for me is try singing English songs. The songs really like, they have a lot of mixture of pronunciation. Like one pronunciation can be different from another. For example, like British and American have some little differentiation with their pronunciation. For example, like bottle of water, that's the American version, but in British, it sounds like bottle of water. Okay, I'm not very good at British accent, so apologies. So, like, try singing along with an English songs can help you better up your pronunciation. Especially like songs have like their own, like modified of words. Like sometimes it doesn't even like sound like the word they're supposed to say, they're supposed to sing. So that's the second tip. And the third tip is try finding someone who likes to speak in English. Or like me, usually you can like find this person in like who likes to like play in a multiplayer games, maybe like a Valorant game or other game. Because sometimes they like to. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm going to say a bad word. Sometimes they like to shit talk the other person, right? So they're like already have some English integrated to them. So you can try talking with them in English, and so on. You'll get better with it. Especially if the other person is already really good in English, you can ask them to correct your what's it called, your writing or your speech with that. Because I've also have that one person in my life who also was like the reason why my English became really good, because we have like daily conversation in English, and he likes to correct my pronunciation and writing. So that is the 3 tips that I can give to a beginner who's looking to fluent up their speech. Is that enough or?
Enough. Thank
Okay.
you for your answer.
Thank you for the question. Well, we still have time. Is there any more who wants to ask? Anyone? Okay, sure. No, wait.
Okay, my name is Vina Naili Rosana from Electrical Engineer. I want to ask something. In your opinion, is pronunciation more important than self-confidence?
Okay. Is pronunciation is more important than self-confidence? I mean, they do go hand in hand. I mean, if you have better pronunciation, it's more easier for someone to like understand what you're trying to say. But having self-confidence is much more important, in my opinion, because when you don't have like confidence at all, whether you have like better pronunciation but you don't have confidence, it doesn't help you having a conversation with everyone. So having more confidence is much more important than pronunciation. Like you'll just learn learn like in the road how to like your pronunciation without becoming a better one. So like the first step is just be more confident in yourself. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for the question. And is there anyone else? We still have like 10 minutes. Or maybe the operator wants to ask a question? No? All right. Well, is there anyone? If not, I can just close the class for today.
Why?
Okay. Well, since there's no more, and then there's no more, like, my speech is getting really ugly. Well, since there's no one who's willing to ask any questions again, I think it's better for me to close this class. Well, I'd like to give like some words from me that this is like my first time talking to a lot of people in the class. The last time I did that was like when I was in high school. So my speech is a bit rough, and also I get really fast when I speak, so I'm sorry about that. Well, I'm glad that all of you have attended this class and have listened to what I have given to you, and even asked some questions that you don't understand and stuff. And well, I'm sorry that if I made any mistakes and along the class. So yeah, well, that's about it from me. I'm Najla Tsabitah, and thank you for attending this class.
Okay.